What is up, guys? It is Ghost Rider here, and today I'm going to be redoing a video that I had previously recorded, but somehow the video file was corrupted or something, so I have to redo it. But it's no problem. And basically what it is what I promised y'all. I'm going to start showing you some builds that I use for my characters that I main in Mobile Legends. So the characters I'm going to show you today are Eudora and Roger. Which Eudora is, if you don't know, where is that? Eudora is a mage. She is a damage Reaper mage. So for the build that I use, I go, purely damage. And let me go ahead and make it clear that I didn't copy this from anybody. So I just me improvising and making stuff in games, and it's really been productive for me. So I figured I'd share it. Also, I'm not saying this is the best build. It's just, it works for me, and I definitely put up positive numbers when I play. And sometimes I even carry depending on, how good I'm doing. But I just wanted to make it, clear. I don't want people to, see this as, oh, I'm claiming I have the best build. No, it's a really good build, and I just want to share it. So, alright, going along with it. First off, and I'm going to tell you them in order that I build them in the game. So they're not in order here. I didn't take the time to do all that because I normally don't use presets, but I'm gonna go ahead and tell you them in order. So when I normally start off, I normally start with Clock of Destiny. It gives you magic power, HP, and mana, and that's really the reason I buy it. Is really just because, and that's the first thing I buy is because it is nice to get that extra mana boost and HP boost, and then the passive is it lowers your cooldown a little bit. But, I want to be clear, I don't focus on cooldowns in this build. Like I said, it's purely damage. That's just a nice little benefit. So, I start with Clock of Destiny, and it's not too bad. It's like 1900 gold. I follow up with Devil's Tears. It gives you 65 magic power. As well as, the passive it has a 40% magic penetration. And also, if their life is above 70%, it'll increase this by 30%, so it can go up to 70%. If I've interpreted that correctly, it'll go up by 30%, so it would make it about 70% just off this one piece. If their life is above 70%, 9 times out of 10, that's how it is, because I'm normally attacking healthy targets. Because if they're under half life, they're dead anyway to me. My ultimate, or the combo that I use, it'll kill them. So 9 times out of 10, this would only really matter if they're full life or whatever. So Clock of Destiny and Devil's Tears. Next is going to be Glowing Wand. I like this one a lot, honestly. It does a lot for you. Magic power, penetration again, and then movement speed's nice. It's not terrible. It's not nothing like, oh my gosh, but the magic penetration is, again, that's why I put it on here, just to help it out a little bit. Also, the passive on here is it scorches your targets and burns them for a few seconds. So there's been a lot of times where if you're in a fight, you use all your attacks, somehow they always manage to have a centimeter of life, or a very small piece of life, and you're like, man, what? And you sometimes even end up dying because they're able to kill you. Because as Eudora, once you've used your mage or all your attacks and stuff, if you haven't killed them, you better hope you have a buddy, because they're gonna murk you. Like, there's the cooldowns, the fastest cooldown when you upgrade everything for the first attack is like 4 or 5 seconds, and that's not terrible, but you can die in 5 seconds if they're a good player, depending on who you attack. So, it is nice to have, that little bit of extra damage, and it can even scare them off sometimes. But, so like I said, it's Destiny, Tears, Glowing Wand, but this is, a really good piece. These two, Devil and Wand, are really 2 good pieces. Next, and this really completes, 9 times out of 10, you're never going to get your full build. Let me go ahead and say that. You're always going to, either the game is going to be over for a loss or a win, or honestly, you may just not be hitting it that game. And then you have to accept that too. Sometimes in games, you're just not going to, their opponents are going to be, really hard for your mage, but it'll make it really easier, maybe for your other teammates. It just depends on what they pick, and you can't control that. Until you get to the draft in Epic. But as far as anything under Epic, you can't control what they pick. So, and you also can't control, you can't control what they build. So if they see you, if they know about the game, they have to respect the fact that they know Eudora can do damage. So they may even build magic protection, hence why I have magic penetration to kind of counter that. But still, I mean, it does help them a lot when they have, you know, two or three pieces that are just purely protecting them from what I damage them with. So, you know, again, it's like, you just, sometimes you're not going to have a good game, and it's just because they countered you. But all you can hope for is you turn into an assist man, and you try to help your team out as best you can with lowering life and let them get the kills. Because they can't counter everything, I'll promise you that, you really can't. So yeah, once you get this fourth piece, Blood Wings, really either the game's going to be over, and it's not over by then great, you can keep building, but 9 times out of 10, once you've had these four, the game's pretty close to being over. At least that's how it's been for me, because we're pretty quick fighters. Blood Wings, honestly, all it does, it boosts your magic power a lot, gives you some HP. The passive's alright, it gives you HP for every magic point you have. So, I mean, you know, you get some extra HP, but really, I do it for the magic buff. And by that point, you're dealing some nasty damage. You really are. And then from there, if you can keep building, Calamity Reaper, 70 magic power, 400 mana, 10% cooldown reduction. And it increases your basic attack as a passive. Doesn't really matter with Eudora. Her basic attack is weak, but hey, whatever. I mainly do this for the mana, and the cooldown reduction is nice, as well as, you know, it does give you a little bit of magic power. But definitely the mana is a big reason why I do it. And then the last piece, where, you know, it's kind of a sub out, you can do whatever you need to do with it. I normally put the Ice Queen wand. It gives you faster movement speed, faster regen, and some magic power, as well as it also helps with the burn, because if you burn them with the wand, then you can freeze them and slow them down so they can't get away as fast. It's little things like that it's like, you know, you wouldn't think makes a difference, but it really does. And it's a really expensive build, but trust me, it's worth it. But this is my Eudora build. I've played with her a lot. I have like 220 games with her with like a 55% win ratio, so it's, you know, it's not bad, it's pretty good. I've learned a lot. She's definitely one of my favorites. And so yeah, this is my Eudora build. And, you know, if you have any suggestions, or, you know, you want to comment on it, you know, let me know in the video comments, and I'll check it out, you know, see what I can do, help you out with anything. But I'm also going to show you my other main, who I've really loved playing with lately and been killing it with lately, is Roger. He's the newest character to the game. He is a marksman fighter combo, meaning he starts off as a human marksman, and with a button, his ultimate, he changes into a werewolf fighter, and he is disgusting. Let me tell you, late game, as long as they don't have an Estes, if they have an Estes, it's kind of hard unless you get the Estes first, but you can really run through a team of 5 by yourself, depending on, you know, what they are and stuff, and how built they are. But you can run through a team of 5, which is pretty impressive alone. I mean, this build also, you can take Lord in, you know, 5 seconds without getting a scratch. Like, it is disgusting, but there is a trick to it, and there is a key to it, on how building, and like what order to build it, and, you know, how you build it, because that makes a huge difference. To really recap what the build is, though, I run it with 4 speeds and 2 lifesteal pieces. So the lifesteal pieces are Host Claws, 70 physical attack, which is nice, gives you a 20% lifesteal. And when your HP drops below 40, you get an extra 10% added onto that, which is nice because, you know, he is squishy, so he's going to drop. So potentially 30%. This one also is really good, 50 magic per tower. It gives you some HP and mana, which is nice, and then 15% lifesteal. And it also increases your basic attack. It'll do 70% more damage, which is nice because, you know, when you're in werewolf mode, fighter mode, it's going to come a long way, especially with the 2 lifesteal pieces. So those are the lifesteal pieces. The speeds are where it's at, though. I start off with Windtalker, 25%, 20%, 20%. Really good piece. Passive, and increases your next 5 basic attacks by, I think 125? Yeah. And it's just nasty. A good starting piece. It's cheap. It's like 2,000 gold. Next would be Scarlet Phantom, 30% or 30 physical attack, and then 40-10 with a 35% and a 20, and the passive is a 35% and a 5% critical. So you're just stacking and stacking your speed. Like, it's ridiculous. Honestly, It's so bad. Like I said, you can take Lord in like 5 seconds without a scratch because of the lifesteal. It's really, really, really nasty build. The next thing I use is Blade of the Seven Seas. 300, 20% attack, and then the basic, it increases your movement speed, which is, whatever, cool. He's already fast, but whatever. Mainly do this for the extra 20%. The last spot is the big boy, which you build last, Blade of Despair. Boosts your attack beyond belief, gives you a higher critical chance, higher attack speed, and if they're stunned or anything like that, if you play with like a mage or something like that and they stun them, shock them, freeze them, whatever, you can do 10% more damage with your basic physical attack, on top of what they already have. So that's the pieces. The trick to it though is how you build them, or like what order. I always start off, no matter what, with Windtalker. You want to start your speed off because he is pretty slow. So you want to start your speed off. After that, it's like a YOLO. Like, you just have to go with what, how the game's going so far. If you're getting kills or assists, or you're not really messed with and you're farming at an efficient rate, screw it. Go to your next speed. Build Scarlet Phantom. Great. There's been some instances where I've played games where my team is getting murdered, so they're asking me to help them, so it's like, I can't really help them, but it's like, I'm not going to say no, so it's like, fine. So I'll jump into a fight. Obviously, I die pretty quick, so instead of building speed continuously when I know it's not going to really help me because it does take a little bit longer to get the speed pieces, I'll build Hossclaws after Windtalker, and that way I have some lifesteal and speed, and then I'll go back to building speed after I've gotten that first lifesteal. That way I can kind of buffer it out a little bit, slow them down somewhat. Most of the time it works. And like I said, some games, or like I normally tell my friends, some games you're just not going to win. So sometimes they have the counters to your people, and they just play better than you, and that's part of gaming. You're not going to win everything, but that doesn't make us necessarily bad players. But the normal way you build this, or I build it, is Windtalker. Then I go Scarlet Phantom. By that point, your attack speed is ridiculous, and you still have 2 more to go on top of that. After those 2, you build Hossclaws. That way now, when you attack, you do damage, and you can also prevent yourself from dying a lot quicker, to where you either can kill them, or you can lower them to the point where you've died, but you stalled long enough to lower them to within killing range, to hopefully one of your teammates is there to clean up clean up what you started. So after Hossclaws, after Scarlet Phantom, I build Hossclaws. After Hossclaws, I go back to speed, and I build Blade of the Seven Seas. By that point, you've gotten 3 speeds. You're doing ridiculous damage. And by this point in the game too, the game's gonna be pretty close to over. You'll have an idea of who's gonna win based on either team. Sometimes not. Sometimes it's a stalemate, and people want to build, and that's cool. They don't realize they're hurting themselves in the end by letting you get this full build. So after Scarlet Phantom, Blade of the Seven Seas. Perfect, you've got speed. You want to cap off your lifesteal and build Endless Battle. Again, just repeating myself, after you built Endless Battle, you only have 1 more slot, and it's the big boy slot, but you're already ridiculous. Like, it's crazy. I will have gameplay for y'all coming. It's crazy how much damage you can do and take because of lifesteal. It's crazy how much you can do. And then the big boy piece, the last piece you would build if you make it that far, would be Blade of Despair. It boosts everything. It does 10% more damage if they're stunned, 10% critical strike chance, 25% attack speed, 130 plus on physical attack. Like, you're just doing massive damage as well as capping off your speed. And that's how I build Roger. I think it works fine. Honestly, I do pretty well with him. I just bought him, so I've only got like 40 something games, I think, and I have a 69%, or I think now it's a 66% win ratio, so it's not bad, really, honestly. And it will get better. A lot of the losses I get are from teammates not knowing what they're doing, which is fine. I understand, it's a game, whatever, but I want to win. So anyways, I will have video coming soon with with both of these builds in action. I'll either have one-on-ones with my buddies, or I may just take a replay from a game that I had, and I'll show y'all what you can do with it. But yeah, so this is Roger and Eudora. I'll have builds coming later on with Tigreal and Estes. I play a lot of characters that I'm good with, that I'm pretty good with, I should say. And I'll have builds coming on those, or what I think are good builds. But subscribe if you enjoyed the video. Leave a like, leave a comment. Please leave a comment. You know, let me know what you think. Like I said, it's a new channel, so I'm trying to grow it, but I want to do it the right way. I want to get people's opinions and stuff like that. You know, I want to be active with my users, or with my subscribers. And yeah, so that's pretty much it. Until next time, see y'all, keep gaming, and peace out.